Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio for this today? Maybe we do. Thank you. Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it's time for the noon edition of Welcome to My World. This is the 13th of April, and it is a Wednesday. So we had some news this morning. Let's see here. We had news that came out at 8:30, and then we had some 10 o'clock Canadian banking numbers and news that came out. They have held a press conference, which is over with at this time. The next thing we're looking for is at 1 o'clock will be the 10-year note auction. So if you trade ZN, there is a 10-year auction. The note auction is coming up at 1 o'clock. So this morning we have had all kinds of things. It looks like today TF was the leader of the parade of these indices. They all tend to move together, but there's usually one that kind of leads the way and is a little stronger. NQ, I know we have a lot of NQ traders in here, and there certainly were some nice trades on NQ, both directions today. So those apex indicators really do work out. The dollar is up today, and that, of course, if you're one of the Forex pair traders, the dollar-euro pair probably had some good movement because the euro is down, and the dollar is up. So we've got the VIX backing off quite a bit. It's just a tad below 14 right now, which is means there's a little less fear in the market. Crude oil today, we had the crude oil inventory. It was kind of surprising because two things occurred. One is the inventory build is way higher than forecast. And one would think, a reasonable person would think that with the high build, it would drive the price down a little bit, but it had the exact opposite effect. And the other thing is the Saudis are saying that they don't care what anybody else says or does. They are not capping their oil production. And there's a meeting, I don't know, in the next 3 or 4 days in Doha, and part of the agenda is to see if they can get an agreement between OPEC and the Russians to cap production at some level until they let the price stabilize onto the upside. But nobody seems to be. They don't agree on anything, so don't hold your breath. Yesterday, that burst was on a news release that the Russians had agreed to do that, to cap their production. So yesterday was a classic thing of, buy the rumor and sell the news. So we'll have to see how that pans out for us. Anyway, I don't see too much. Oh, one thing I don't know if anybody is watching bonds. I am really on a mission to add bonds to my mix here. So let me show you this. I went back to a 4-tick chart to see if I could get a little better idea. It seems like a 6-tick, sometimes this is just drying the paint. But there were 10-tick moves up this morning from about 8:30 off of this red ice, and it was a touchback to the open. If you like the C's system, there was a good 10 ticks in there. 65.02 up to 65.12 was pretty easy, and you could have kind of shepherded that along up to the half deviation, and then it turned around, and there was a right off of this sell zone and the apex E and the trend catcher right here around 65.09, 08, maybe even '07, one tick below the trend catcher, and there was another 10 tick move down. And so then it did just about the same thing again. These trendars are very, very helpful, I think, with this. And I have ZB on the market analyzer also. So I don't know if anybody else, the volume was definitely this morning, or the exceeding volume. It's had some volume. But if anybody else can figure anything out with this, be sure and let us all know, because that's a good stable. The thing that makes ZB so attractive, and ZN also, is the liquidity in it. It's a very liquid market, so getting in and getting out is not necessarily going to be a big problem. So let's see here. We've had a lot of people posting charts that have had some great success taking trades with the alchemy also. So I like that for a confirmation, but the alchemy really did pick up on this move right here, right after the inventory announcement. That was a really nice. I think it's a little easier to see on alchemy sometimes. So let's see. Tomorrow we have 7 o'clock in the morning. For those of you, there's an early bird crowd that comes in our time, I think about 5 or so. But the euro at 5 o'clock and the British pound at 7. There's a lot of UK news with that 7 o'clock timeline. And then 8:30 will be CPI and core CPI, and my personal favorite, the claimed unemployment. 10 o'clock tomorrow is one of these members of the Brain Trust is going to be speaking, so not sure. And then tomorrow at 10:30, if you like the Nadex products, is the Nat Gas inventory. So there's usually a trade available. I would check the news on the Apex site to see what may be laid out in there. And then tomorrow is the 30-year bond auction, and it's at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So bonds may be a little range bound and a little light in volume until that auction hits. So that looks like it's about it. We've got a lot of new people that have come in recently. I see they let us know that they're new, and I want to welcome you all. You will have more success with this if you systematically sit down and go through the educational modules that are on the website. And be sure and download Jing. There is a link to that with instructions and screenshots and everything on the website, because that's how we post these charts in here, and you will get the most help and learn fastest if you will post your charts, mark your entries or what you think is the entry, and get some feedback on it, because there are a jillion little teeny different settings to contend with on both NinjaTrader and with the Apex indicators. And then, of course, we live in the wonderful world of electronic trading. So we're all at the mercy of the data feed and the internet speed and the resources on our computer and a jillion other things. So the very best way to get up and running the fastest is to mark those charts and post them and get feedback. Also, when you see other people post charts, grab those charts and stick them in a file so you can go back and reference those and study those. You will learn more from looking at other people's charts because they have their colors just a little different. They have something just a little different. And I can't tell you how often I've looked at one of those and thought, wow, that is so much easier to see. I never thought about that. So this is a matter of your visual perception and you want to take the easy way out. What is the easiest, what makes the most sense to you? If somebody's trying to tell you something and you're sitting there thinking, what? I don't get that. What is that? Get an entry system that we have many different ones. This is good for using on a jillion different ways, but what you want to do is find a couple of trades that make the most sense to you, that are the easiest ones for you to see, and then focus on those until you own those trades. You can do those in your sleep. That's how you get up and running, because you can always add something more later, but get up and running on just one or two, and it may go slower than what you want, but that's okay as long as you get real solid in it. That's the key. So those are my little tips for the day, I think. So I will see you all tomorrow. This has been my view from my world in Apex Land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll see you tomorrow about noon. Thanks.